Hello and welcome to my channel. This is a variety channel where I cover a number of different topics, and today we're talking about venison heart in honor of opening deer season. I'll be using a venison heart that I got from my little brother last year. I think it was last year. It's been in the freezer for a while. And I'm going to wash the venison heart and cut it up and cook it and talk to you a little bit about it. If you're squeamish, feel free to back out now. But if you stick with me, you might learn something. Let's get started. Okay, so what is venison? Venison is the term used for most commonly deer, but it is a wild red meat animal, which can include antelope and moose and elk. You get the picture. And the heart of not just wild game, but any animal is part of a group of meat called offal, which includes the internal organs of an animal. Family lore has it that I have been obsessed with the hearts of animals since I was a tiny little girl, starting off with like chicken hearts. It is said that the first time I saw a beef heart, which is much bigger than a chicken heart, my eyes got wide and I was amazed. But I've been hooked on hearts forever. It grosses some people out. It's a great nutrient-dense source of protein, but I have always been obsessed with the hearts of animals. And so I'm very lucky to have had an opportunity to get one from my little brother. I think it's from last hunting season. It might be from the one before, but it was stored really, really well, so it didn't get any freezer burn. He put it in a paper insulated bag that was sealed, and inside that it was stored with a Ziploc bag of ice that was sitting next to. And so far, of all the hearts I've ever had in my freezer, it has maintained its freshness the best. So I don't see any sign of freezer burn on it, which is great. As I stated, offal is the term for a group of internal organs of animals. Examples include foie gras and pate, which are made out of liver and which are considered delicacies and are regarded as gourmet food in the culinary world. Other examples include chopped liver, which comes from Jewish tradition, or haggis, which comes from Scottish tradition, and sweetbreads, which are the thalamus gland of the brain, which I've actually cooked and eaten before, and wouldn't say I recommend it. So as I mentioned, I got that heart from my little brother, but not everybody has a wonderful little brother who hunts and will give them the hearts of animals. So you can find actually venison hearts online. They are not as inexpensive as you would imagine. They are on par with the same price per pound of beef, which, as you know these days, is not inexpensive. If you're not into venison hearts, but you want to try a different animal heart, usually at a butcher shop you can get a heart, especially if you buy a quarter or a portion of the cow, like I had previously done in the past and did a video on buying beef in bulk. You can usually get a heart with that if you ask. Now, why would you want to eat a heart? I know it probably sounds gross to a lot of people. The internal organs of animals, and so especially the heart, is really high in good nutrients and low in fat. So there's a lot of good protein, there's a lot of good iron and zinc and phosphorus. And phosphorus helps grow strong bones and strong teeth, helps with your nerve and muscle function, and energy production and cell repair. So it's a good thing. Then, of course, there's vitamin B. But really the most important part is, what does it taste like? Because if you don't like the taste, you're probably not going to eat it, and so it doesn't even matter. But the taste is really similar to kind of a steak, especially if you clean your heart well before cooking. The texture of heart is also, it's very meaty. It's perfectly good to eat by itself. It's got a good enough flavor, but it can be enhanced with any number of things. And when you cook it, there are a couple different ways you can cook it. There's grilled, you can braise it, and you can add it into soups and stews. You can flavor it with cumin or paprika or black pepper. But like I said, there's a lot of things that you can flavor it with. And then you can even accompany it with like a balsamic reduction or a red wine reduction or glazes or a mushroom sauce. You could just treat it like you would a piece of steak, really. But from my perspective, it's best served with something that's in season. So while you could serve it with some greens or or things like that, I'm going to be serving mine with cooked cabbage because cabbage is a fall ingredient. It's in season in fall, and venison is technically a fall food since hunting season is usually like October and November and maybe into December, depending on how you're hunting, whether it be with a bow or a gun and what state you're in. Usually bow season starts before rifle season. But the best way would be with just a little garlic and butter and salt and pepper in a pan. So first you want to purge the heart, which includes rinsing the heart under cold running water, gently squeezing the valves and chambers until the water runs clear. This flushes out any leftover blood clots, and helps avoid like the metallic taste that can come with some organs. It could take up to 5 or 10 minutes. Don't skip the purge and soak, as it reduces the metallic taste that a heart can have. Using a sharp knife, trim off the top of the heart to remove the valves, arteries, and any visible fat. Make sure to trim it well. The fat on the deer heart is waxy and unpleasant, so cut off as much as you can for the best texture. Slice the heart in half along the natural chamber lines, removing any connective tissue, and then cut into 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick slices. Following that, you'll want to soak it in some salt water. So you'll place the heart slices in a bowl of water with a couple teaspoons of sea salt and then let it soak in the fridge overnight to draw out any remaining blood and tenderizing the meat. Now, I'm not going to do that because historically, I don't really clean my hearts all that much because I don't mind a little bit of a metallic taste. But for you, if this is your first time, I would definitely suggest soaking that heart overnight. After soaking, remove the slices and pat them dry, seasoning both sides with black pepper and salt and parsley if you have it, or whatever seasonings you want to use. And then you want to sear the slices of heart. So you just add them to a hot skillet in a single layer and then sear them for 2 to 3 minutes per side, or until the outside is brown and the center is slightly pink. Aim for a good sear and a medium rare center. Don't overcook your heart or it will become more tough and will not be a pleasant eating experience. Okay, you can come up here. All right, all right, all right. No crying. Say hi. Say hi to the camera. Hey, Toby. Once you have seared the slices, remove them from the pan and let them rest briefly before serving. If you didn't want sides with your venison heart, you could put the slices on a sandwich and have a sandwich, or add it to some greens and have a nice salad. If you want to cut the rich flavor of the venison heart, you can always add a splash of balsamic or red wine vinegar at the end of cooking. Can I put you down now? Will you be quiet so I can do my work? Will you be quiet? Okay, I'm gonna put you down now. All right, it's done. Let's have a taste. It's been a while since I've had venison heart. It's exactly how I remember heart tasting. If you've ever eaten heart, please leave me a comment in the section below and tell me what you thought about it. This turned out really good. It does have a slight liver flavor, which I don't usually like, but the texture is good. I think the thing with liver that is most people's issue is the grainy, weird texture that liver gets. And heart doesn't have that. It just has more of the, like, the rich flavor that like other internal organs would have. One of the reasons I wanted to cook this right now is it's been in my freezer for a while and it's hunting season, so I'm hoping I get another heart, and I wanted to make room for the next one. So I thought it'd be cool to cook this. But also, I love to open up people's perspectives to different parts of the animal that you can eat, especially during a time when protein is becoming much more expensive. And I know venison heart is on par with beef, but it's also rare. And so it might be worth your time, if you're interested in trying heart, to go to your butcher and ask them about it, because they probably sell them for much cheaper than a venison heart goes for. The price I saw for like a 1 to 1.5 pound venison heart online, and this was, I think, from a place in Texas, it was like $15. I don't think a beef heart will be that expensive, and it's a great source of protein. It is a little finicky to clean, as you saw, and yes, I could have used a sharper knife. But I'm working with what I have. I need to get all my knives sharpened. It's a lot of work to sharpen knives, and I don't have patience for it. As always, I recommend people explore the culinary world for new and different things. The worst thing that's going to happen if you try beef heart or venison heart or the heart of any other animals, I recommend chicken. But the worst thing that can happen is that you just don't like it. And I would try it more than once, because if you get to a certain age, you know that your tastes change throughout life. And so maybe you had this as a kid. Maybe you grew up on a farm with a hunting family like I did, and you didn't like it. I would try revisiting it, especially if you had a parent who wasn't a great cook or something, so maybe they didn't cook it properly. It's my strong belief that there would be a lot less picky people if the first or second time they tried a food, it was cooked properly. Fall is well on its way. Winter is closing in. And so I'm going to have to work on the lighting in here because it's about to snow. So all my gardening stuff is on hold. I'm going to try to get back in the kitchen and do more food-related content, as long as my cats can be quiet long enough for me to record, which was a big challenge today. And in the house now I have 7 cats, because I just got a new kitten. So now I have 12. We can talk about cats again another day. If you thought this was gross, go ahead and let me know. I know that some people just love to complain about everything. And if you made it this far, congratulations. I hope you liked this video. If you made it this far, thank you very much. And thank you for stopping by. And as always, have a wonderful day. Hope somebody comes to this video. You are what you eat. And what you eat. And what you eat. You are what you eat. And what you eat eats tastes like what it eats. Anyway, whatever.